I think we might be celebrating birthdays kind of backwards. A friend of mine started a small tech company and struggled for the better part of 10 years just managing to keep the lights on. And I doubt you've heard of him. I never thought much of the product myself, but when COVID came along and turned the world upside down, a couple of much larger companies created some successful products that integrated his tech. And these two companies got into a bidding war to acquire his company, and the next thing you know, he walks away with so much money, he really can do anything he wants now. And I didn't even know about it until one Saturday he asked me if I could come help him move some stuff. And I said, sure. And he picked me up in his old Honda that he'd been driving forever. And he looked like he'd been spending the morning fixing flat tires. And I kind of did too. I had on my refrigerator moving clothes. And he says, hey, listen, let's stop and get some breakfast. So we pull into this little diner near his old office and we get a booth. And before the waitress came out, he said, hey, listen, let me do the ordering. Okay? Okay, sure. And the old gal comes around to take our order, and he asks her, what can we get for under $5? And she hesitates for a minute, looks us over and says, you boys working today? And he goes, yeah. And she says, oh, okay. And the next thing you know, she comes out with 2 plates of eggs and bacon and toast and juice and 2 full cups of coffee and a couple of muffins in a to-go bag. And he says, ooh, I don't think we can cover all that. And she says, oh, well, I got the order wrong, so pay what you can. And that's when he told me about the money. And he told me that she had been feeding him like that all through his lean years. And today was his birthday. And that it occurred to her that it didn't make sense for other people to give him gifts, since he was the one that was so grateful for the past year. So we finished our breakfast, and he dropped a big envelope on the table. And we went out to Honda to watch her open it. And inside, there was an ATM card and a note that he'd written. He had opened a brokerage account for her with a lot of money in it. Like so much money that you wouldn't even call it money, you'd call it freedom. And she sat in there reading that note that he'd written her. You know how they say it's better to give than to receive? Yeah, well, it really is. By the way, that wasn't the last stop we made that day. And I said to him finally, I thought you needed me to help you move some stuff. And he says, you don't think this is moving?